Hey everybody, AcedTyler here. Welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. Let's say we go and exit the tent and see what's going on out there. We just heard a gunshot.
Heartless!
And some new Heartless of that here. These are the Power Wilds. I was about to say like the other variants, like the Bouncy Wilds, which we'll see a little later. But yeah, those are Power Wilds. I actually hate those guys though because, well, I mean at this level we're at right now, because I mean later on they're not really that much of a big deal, but here right now they're very annoying to deal with. They actually have an array of attacks where they'll actually try to jump at you, and then they do their claw swipes at you, and you can actually like they can actually defend themselves like that while they do that. Although you still get tech points from it. And then that's when they can drop their guard and they can actually just attack them. But because they're attacks, then they're very annoying to deal with. But yeah, there's actually a few variants. Well, actually, originally there were two variants. I would say in Vanilla Cage one, but in Final Mix there's actually a third variant, which, well, actually I'll just go on and explain here. So yeah, we just got the very basic ones right here, the Power Wilds. By the way, speaking of which, in Vanilla Cage 1, they were, all the Power Wilds are blue. Well, in Final Mix, their color scheme was changed to yellow. And so for this kind of segment we're doing right now, we see that the other gorillas are in danger of those Heartless. And so every time you defeat all those Power Wilds, then they reward you with some new gummy pieces that they found. Because I mean, I guess it's implied that that since we basically crash landed into a deep jungle, then that means Sora actually managed to wreck the gummy ship. Well, mainly because he got in an argument with Donald over him being him being a stubborn asshole, and so Sora just wants to go in there to check on his friends, but Donald doesn't want to, and so that was how I guess that's how the gummy ship kind of crashed. Because whenever to those of you who are into want to go into like being a pilot or being some kind of a ship captain, do yourselves a favor. Don't fight over who gets to take control of those vessels, because like it will not end well. So that's actually some kind of ASOP that this game is showing right at the moment. Just never fight over controls. Because, yeah, trust me, it will not end well. Actually, it could even result in death. Because, like, because Sora and the others are very lucky enough that they survived all this. And I guess even more so since Sora managed to defeat Sabor. Well, he had the Keyblade to defend himself at least. But, of course, he still would have been done for had it not been for Tarzan's help. But yeah, going on a little bit there. Yeah, never fight this because it will prove to be fatal. And I guess that might show as well, and it could also result in death because of clumsiness. I don't know if there were incidents like that in real life that's ever happened. Like I don't know, maybe back then, over people fighting over who gets to take control of the vehicles or stuff like that. Yeah, it's even more so with cars. Oh yeah, never do that when you're driving a car either, because like especially when you got other cars and. Especially on the highways. Yeah, never fight for those. That's going to be extremely risky. Especially if you, especially more so in Florida. Like those of you living in Florida, because, well, Florida is very well known for having a shit ton of traffic, and it can be very dangerous too. Anyway, going on top again. So yeah, we just encountered another variant, the Power Wilds. Those are the Bouncy Wilds, and they're also a little more annoying. That the Bouncy Wilds, what they do is that they will actually run all over the place. Like they're pretty fast. They will just run around, and then they have their slingshot, which they will fling at you. And also they'll actually and also sometimes they even moonwalk. They just jump in the air and just look like they moonwalk, because they can somehow do that. And they will also try to throw banana peels on the ground. And watch out for those banana peels they throw, because if you slip on one, you will actually lose your money. And they will come and swipe the money away from you, or just basically just pickpocketing from you. And so, and yeah, once you're kind of far, oh yeah, we gotta level up. I really wanted the scan ability. Yeah, once they're far enough away from you, they'll try to shoot you with the slingshots, but then after a while, then they'll just disappear. But you want to go ahead and defeat those as much as you can, because like those things are very annoying. Like probably even more so than the fire wilds and stuff. So, look at that! That's why I was just moon jumping. Well, I mean, just moonwalking. Like they can suddenly do that. And yeah, that's when they're using their slingshots here. You can actually just deflect them off just by swiping them with the Keyblade, and then it'll bounce back at them. But if you take too long trying to kill them, then they will actually disappear. Oh yeah, by the way, I never mentioned this. Oh, and also they will taunt you, you ass. You know, literally. But and yeah, they disappear as well. Oh, God damn it! How dare you taunt me like that? I will never forgive those who taunt me for not being able to kill you. Anyway, one thing I also didn't mention, the Power Wilds and I guess the Bouncy Wilds too, they're also weakened by fire magic, so so be sure to use those as well, and then you'll get a better advantage against them. And like I said, folks, there in Final Mix there's actually a third variant of the Power Wilds, which of course, dear God, they are so obnoxious, and also of course they're very much anxiety-inducing. Oh, I hate those things. So we'll actually get to those much later. But yeah, it's actually a Final Mix exclusive, which I don't know why they would implement that, because it's very dickish of them, and it's actually the worst kind of thing they could ever come up with, just adding that. Which, of course, like I said, we'll get to that a little later, but yeah, for that kind of third variant, it's very anxiety-inducing, and of course, they will appear when you least expect them to. And, well, actually, not in this world, but, like, in some other world, but yeah, they're very anxiety-inducing, and so, if you're not careful, like, oh god, we'll more on that once we actually get to those. So yeah, just say no more on that one. And yeah, I was saying that I was really hoping that we can finally get the scan ability, because like I thought at first by now that we would get it, but here's what I actually found out what I looked up, and also I kind of run around in circles there because well, I completely forgot that we're supposed to go to the back up to the treehouse, but I completely forgot that the vine's just right there as soon as you get to the vines 2 area. So there was actually no reason for me to just go and swing across the vines. Shit. Well, what else was I gonna say? I think I was talking about. Oh yeah, the scan ability. So I actually looked this up because I was wondering why I wasn't getting the scan ability right away. But it turns out I was actually thinking of Vanilla Cage one, because in that version you get it pretty early, even if you pick the shield and drop the magic, or actually just pick up the shield in general at the beginning of the game. Here's what I found out in Final Mix. It actually the scan ability, which actually allows you to see your enemy's HP, and same thing with bosses as well. It turns out that in Final Mix, if you pick up the shield, you actually won't get the scan ability until a later level, like once you level up a little later, like around in the early 20s. So that's the reason why I wasn't getting it. If you pick up the sword or the magic staff, then you actually do get the scan ability pretty early, like around, like I would say level 9 or 12 or whichever it is. And in Vanilla Cage 1, even if you do pick up the shield, then you actually can still get the scan ability pretty early, like I would say probably level 15. I think. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's around level 15 that you get the scan ability in Vanilla Cage 1 if you were to pick up the shield. But since this is Final Mix, and so I pick up the shield, that means they actually rearrange the level ups or the new abilities to where to certain levels. So in this case, that means we'll actually be getting the scan ability later, like in the later levels. Which I don't know why. Like I don't know why they would actually just rearrange this. I mean, probably to make it more balanced or something like that. But to actually put the scan ability for us to be able to see enemies' HP, because I want to see it right away. That's like, I don't know why they would do that, because that's like one of the most trollish kind of design choices they could ever do for a Final Mix. Because I think from what I noticed is that like going back between Vanilla Cage 1 and Final Mix is that Final Mix. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong though. Final Mix is definitely, like, I would say, the definitive version of Cage 1, because it's like. Because because of the more content, it's actually a more complete version. Because that was why the Final Mix versions was released directly after the release of the originals. Well, at first it was only exclusive to Japan, and so only the Japanese audience was able to get their hands on the Final Mix versions of Cage 1 and Cage 2. Same thing applies to Cage 2, to where where the final mix version would just be released right after. Oh, and there's also more mushrooms. So, so we're gonna go ahead and use the Thunder Magic on those, because now we have the Thunder Magic on them. And so whenever you see the lights right above their heads, like that, then we can actually use the Thunder Magic on them. So that way there we can get the Thunder Arts. You can actually see them begging for mercy on the ground, but that's actually for the Cure spell a little later. But we don't have it. We don't have it at the moment, so we're gonna skip that one. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So so yeah, the same thing applies when the final mix versions are released right after the respective releases of KH1 and KH2. But for the longest time, well, for such a long time, us Americans were never able to get our hands on it. Which wasn't until 2013 and then 2014 when they actually released the collection compilation of Final Mix for the PS3. Like, I don't know why it took them this long for us to finally get our hands on those versions, but I mean, we got them anyway. So they're finally there. Now we can play Final Mix, internationally. Well, starting with 2013, where we got the on the PS3, and same thing with KH2, just a year after that. Yeah, again, didn't know why it took them this long, but yeah, we finally got it now. But oh, and another gunfire. So I guess we'll just see the source of it. We'll just head over this way back to the bamboo thicket. Oh, geez, did Sabor kill Clayton? Nah, probably not. So, alright, so Sabor round 3, and this is the final round. And so she actually has some new tricks up her up her sleeve. Well, if she had any sleeves. So Sabor will actually start to jump into the bamboo there, but and then after that, then she'll just jump out and try to lunge at you as well. So that's what you want to watch out for, and then she'll also try to jump at you. So you can either just deflect that off and get some tech points, or you can just dodge that as well. Once she drops her guard, then that's where you have your chance to attack her. And there we go. Now we have, or Goofy has max HP and learned a treasure magnet. And so Sabora is now finally down, so now we don't have to deal with her anymore, because of the fact that she would just keep appearing constantly. But yeah, so now she's gone, and kind of a missed opportunity that we're not able to hear Tarzan's signature yell. Because that was like kind of the most iconic scenes for Tarzan himself, or for his character. Wow, that's actually impressive of Turk to actually narrowly escape all the Heartless there. We also got the white thing from Sabor as well, so we'll go ahead and equip it in a moment there. Alright, so yeah, I was actually kind of talking about, like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, think about, with KH1 Final Mix is that, as much as, it's definitely the better version of Vanilla KH1, because, it's actually the more complete version. Like, very much like in the third versions of the Pokemon games. Like, let's say a Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum. Being those, yeah, Final Mix is very much like those games. It's where now it's like a more complete version, where it's like I said, an extended version of those original games. So as much as that Final Mix of KH1 is actually definitely the definitive version because it's more complete like that. There have been times where they can get pretty dickish with their design choices, like with the way they place their abilities, like the scan ability, for instance. And there's also some certain aspects where it tends to get pretty questionable, where like it kind of just dicks with you like that. I guess probably for the sake of the challenge, I mean that might be just fine here. So yeah, so now Goofy has a 2 AP, so we can go and equip a treasure magnet or charge. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with a charge though, because just for him, for the sake of him having some more combat. I think Sora has any more, yeah, he doesn't really have enough AP for more of his abilities. We'll go ahead and equip the White Fang right away here, and so that means our strength will go up, and only our strength too. But yeah, that was like overall the whole thing with with KH1 Final Mix. Not so much with KH2 Final Mix, because the Final Mix version of that game, like, you know, it actually does so many things that are so much better and makes for a much better experience overall, as opposed to Vanilla KH2. Because playing both Vanilla KH1 and Vanilla KH2, I wasn't quite sure which to pick though, because there was like some things that kind of did they did take some aspects away. So I mean, I enjoy KH2, but a little bit, but not like the most of all. But after playing Final Mix versions of both those games, then I would say that KH2 Final Mix just definitely became my absolute favorite. Anyway, so now Turk and Jane have disappeared, or they've been captured somewhere, and so now we have to find them. So next time on Let's Play Kingdom Hearts, we are going to head out once again, do some more back and forth stuff in this world, and see if we can find them. So until next time, see you guys later.